For those of you that don't know, this meeting is being recorded on Mumble as well. Actually, on Mumble, is being recorded. A video is being recorded so that we can post it on the website as a backup, event for those who didn't make the meeting, so they can review it as well. If you're on Fleet, your character will be in that video. If you're not, well, not actually Fleet. If you're actually on our ship now. Because for those who don't know, we actually do have a ship. So congratulations to everyone who contributed, took part in, and helped us to gain DT's first flagship. Give yourself a round of applause because this ship is for you. It's going to allow us to do a lot of new things, including going to different planets and conquering in other guilds and such. But I'll have someone else explain more of that in detail later. It has a lot of different sections that we can purchase, that we can put a lot of new stuff in, so this way the guild can move as one from one planet to another, as well as use it like you would use Fleet, for your GTN and your vaults and all that stuff. It'll all be in here. New sections, they cost 5 million a piece. So yeah, it's still a work in progress. And all donations are still appreciated, as we continue to work on it and improve it going forward. It's not mandatory. I don't want anybody to feel like, they got to, squeeze out every little dime they make. But when you can put something in, it's appreciated. And the more you can put in, and the more we can do. Also, I want to mention that you may notice that one of our members has a GL title now. Periodically, I may be switching different people to a GL. Right now, it's Just Ace, and he's been giving a shot at managing the guild and see how well he does with it. He put up a lot about what he could do to make changes, and so we'll give him an opportunity to see how well it goes for a time. I'm not saying how long that'll last and who will be switched to next. That all depends on anybody that's willing to step up, wants to take a chance. That's only actually a name on the title and name. It's not a real title. You're not actually above me, but I will take a back seat while you run the guild and see how well you do. If people start threatening to leave and complain about you too much, then of course I have to remove that title immediately. But I'll try to take a back seat and see how well you do running the guild and such. Who knows, you may become a successor and the next leader of this guild. Oh, by the name, the ship's name is ROM Intergalactic Tribute Band Tour Bus.
Fuck that bullshit.
The ROM Intergalactic Tribute Band Tour Bus.
No, actually, the official name is what is the official name of this thing again?
The Outlaw Dreadnaught.
All right, there we go. Yes, the Outlaw Dreadnought. That's the official name of our flagship. It's a Dreadnought class ship, as you can see, and it is amazing. And yeah, I have a throne. Thank you very much, Cyphers, for donating the throne. And one of the important things I want to discuss tonight, and we're gonna have a family meeting on this subject as well. For those of you that don't know, when I say family meeting, that includes Star Wars Guild and the Final Fantasy Guild, because they're also a part of Treachery, Dexteram family, because we're in several guilds at one time at times. Right now we're in 2. We're in Final Fantasy and Star Wars, and this is going to affect DT as a whole. And what it is the age requirements. Now I know many people have joined this guild because it's a mature guild, and we request people to be 18 and over. But the question has come up recently when we had a member who joined and told us that he was of age, but people suspected that he wasn't quite of age, and his father had joined as well, who actually vouched for him and said he was of age, but he kind of admitted that he wasn't of age. We came to realize he wasn't of age. So now I was faced with the dilemma: do I keep a person because they were kind of working out with us and had been here a time, or do I have to put him out because the rules are the rules? And I put him out because, first of all, I didn't like him being dishonest with us. I put his father out for being dishonest with us as well. And also because those are the rules. And many people have came before him that wanted to come in here that are underage, and I had to deny them. And then there were people who wanted to vouch for their children, and unfortunately I had to deny them. And I didn't think it would be fair to all those persons who had came before these people who wanted to be in here, and I had to put them down. But that raises the question, are we responsible for people that are underage? What is actually the age requirement for playing Star Wars? For the best I can tell, I only found something online, and it's supposedly a quote from SWOTA's EULA, but I'm not sure it's official or not. It looks official. I'm not positive. If somebody has a box, maybe they can tell me better. But what it says is this: it requires 18, but no, it says teen on it, but they actually require you to be 18 because they want you to be of that age, and something about if your parent consented, then it's okay. Blah blah blah. Point being that if they're requiring you to be a certain age, then we're not really responsible to have to worry about whether you're mature or not. We don't have to. The only thing we have to worry about is if you act an ass or if you're not conducting yourself in a proper fashion within the go. Now, when I say mature, I mean we got people that are pretty silly, self-included, to play this game or whatever. I know I get on people's nerves in here as well. But what I mean is we won't have people disrespecting people in a mature way, and blatantly using language that's offensive and just typically pissing people off constantly. That's the kind of thing we don't want to do. I mean, and in the past, we have had people in here that were 16. I mean, before we enforced this rule, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we had people in here that were 16 and even 14 at one time. They were very mature for their age, did the jobs that were required around here, handled themselves well, and got along well with everyone. But the thing was that when you were 14 years old, then of course people felt they had to be guarded. All right. Some people don't feel that way, but I personally, as a father and such, feel like, this person's that young. I have to watch what I'm saying around because I don't want to be responsible for saying things that may influence a young person in a negative way. Other people who are younger than I, and some that maybe as old as I, I feel this way. They may feel like, hey, well, that's their parents' business or whatever. What I want to know is what does the family think? Do they think that we're not responsible? Should we continue to have our own personal age requirements, or should we let that go and not worry about it and only police people that are assholes in the guild? So I'm going to ask for you guys input later, but we're going to also meet again and put it to an official vote on our website in another week when we meet with the guys from Final Fantasy and see how they feel about it as well. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and with that, also what we're trying to do now is we're trying to go, as always, we're still trying to get more members in. If you guys happen to be running with someone and they're, looking for a guild, whatever, invite them in. Right now, until we figure out the age thing, they got to be 18. Afterwards, we don't have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, we're looking for people actually to complete ops runs, specifically. I mean, sure, we do PvP as well, but we're trying to focus on ops runs because we really want to get these things going. For somebody who may have missed out, who don't check the website or log in with us regularly, we have been running some ops runs frequently. A few nights a week we get together, and whoever's in the channel or whatever, we put together and do some of the earlier ones like EC or Karaga's Palace and such. Some of the earlier and easier ones, and even done a couple of our hard modes on those. And we've been having a great deal of fun with it, but we're looking for more people to get in and train so that we can have regular runs and move into the even harder runs and events in the game. Because like I always say,
for a second.
Pardon me?
You mind if I say something with this?
You good?
So I know a lot of you probably have lower tunes. I see a few people here who are below 60, I think. If you guys hit 50 and you guys want to start running a hops, just let one of us know. 9 out of 10 times we can probably 2-man it or 3-man it. So if there's not even 8 people on, don't worry about it. We could probably still run you through it.
Yeah, definitely hit me up. Mike and I just ran through EC and 2-man that in story mode just to pick up some ultimate and elite comms and miscellaneous monies. So if that's something that somebody's coming up and wants to do, tag us for that.
Okay, that was Nar and JC for those of you who don't know. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we are. We're trying to recruit, we're trying to raise money. These are ongoing things that we do. Like I always let you guys know, we don't want to put too much on people. Nothing in this guild is mandatory except to try to get along with other people and help out when you can. And of course fill out an application on the website. It's amazing how I get the people in here sometimes and ask them to fill out an application and they go ballistic. Oh, I'm not going to do that. You're trying to control me. It's like I'm using some kind of Jedi mind trick on them or something. And they actually leave the guild. But that's one of the ways I tell people aren't mature or old enough. If going to the website and putting in an application is just too much for you, I'm like, okay, you feel like that's like me telling you to do your homework or something. I'm like your dad now. So yeah, that's good for them that they let me know that and they get out immediately as opposed to hanging around and finding out later in other ways. So that's pretty much where we're at. And Off the top of my head, that's all I could think of. Oh, I want to, if Zarman doesn't mind, I would like him to go into further details about how we will be using our ship to gain the materials that we need to give us further access. Zarman, would you mind speaking on that for us?
Sure. Through my research, there is 3 different ways that we can expand the ship. First way is probably the longest and most expensive. It's to make the Dark Project MK1s. Some people can make them, some people can't. You can buy them on the GTN for about average price is about 180k. You use them to trade in for the encryptions. The kicker is you need 50 encryptions to buy 1 framework, and you need a minimum of 4 frameworks to unlock each floor. The quickest way, and I think the best way for us to do it, is I'd say if we could set it up once a week, we start raiding enemy planets, because they drop, the actual framework plans themselves drop from enemy base commanders. And that's going to save us a lot of money and a lot of screwing around if we just sort of move the flagships to say Hoth or Quesh or wherever and just raid the enemy bases. We only need probably about 8 or 10 people, if that, and we can smash the bases, get the frameworks. It'll probably take us maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll have an entire floor unlocked. That's going to be the quickest way to do it.
Just a quick question. As a synth weaver, I can craft a bunch of that stuff, including those dark MK1s, but I've never done anything with them because I didn't know what to do. Do you know anything more about the crafting side of it?
I can tell you the mats that are involved because I can craft them. The mats are a bit of a problem to get.
Yeah, I don't have enough to make very much ever.
Yeah, well, Dark Projects, Ricarda energy nodes and the self-perpetuating power cells, they're grade 7 exotic crafting materials, and they only drop from level 50 operations. And they're sort of a pretty rare drop, and to buy them on the GTN, well, I know for a fact the Ricarda energy nodes are about 80k a pop. In the long run, it's cheaper just to let other people make them, like out in the universe, and then just buy them off the GTN, like to buy the whole Dark MK projects, because they only sell for about 170 to 180k a pop. But the other kicker is, I found last night, me and Zyphus found out, we did a bit of a search on the GTN. The logistical encryptions and the frameworks you can actually buy off the GTN. People are selling them. And we found last night that someone was, I don't know whether you call it stupid or sainthood, that they were selling the encryptions for less than half the price of what the MK projects are. So they're using a 180k piece of equipment, buying these encryptions and then selling them for 90k. So I cleaned out the GTN last night. I bought over 1 million credits worth of encryptions. I've been concentrating on logistical encryptions because the logistical encryptions and the logistical frameworks unlock 2 floors of the ship. Then you've got the command framework and the command encryptions, which does your command deck, and then you've got your engineering, which obviously does your engineering deck. So the logistical ones I've been concentrating on, and they've been pretty cheap. You can buy the entire frameworks off the GTN for about 4.6 million. But we need 4 frameworks to unlock, 4 frameworks plus another 5 million to unlock each floor. So I think the quickest and the cheapest way for us to get out of it is just to raid the enemy bases, because from what I've read, the enemy commanders guarantee a drop. They won't guarantee which one they'll drop. It could be like a command deck, it could be an engineering deck, it could be one we're not really chasing. It doesn't matter. If we end up doubling up and getting more than what we need, all we do is just offload it on the GTN, make a quick 4.5 million, and yeah.
Thanks, man. Is that it?
Well, if anyone's got any questions, now's the time.
What about war supplies?
I've got that covered. I've got 93 war supplies invasion forces in my bank. I bought a heap of them off the GTN. They're cheap as chips to buy. I bought a whole stack of them, 99 of them, for less than 100k.
There's also a couple others that I can craft: crystal capacitors, holocron of strategy, etc. Any of them worth anything?
Those ones are used to make the invasion force.
Oh, okay.
To make an invasion force, you need infantry supply kits, armored vehicles, holocron of strategy, starship weapons, and crystal capacitors.
Okay,
then you use that invasion force to make the Dark Project with all those really rare operations materials.
So the ultimate thing that I can craft then for all that stronghold stuff is the Dark Projects.
Yes.
That's the highest level thing. Like,
yeah, the Dark Projects, you can't really use them for much of anything else. They're pretty much only used on the fleet, where the guild ship vendor is. You can buy either the frameworks or the plans or whatever, or you can use them to buy, along with universal prefab MK3s, you can buy the really rare and expensive decorations designed only for guild ships.
okay, I did make a bunch of them, and I put them all in the guild bank. I don't know if they're still there. I made a bunch of those prefab things.
Yeah, I've been pumping out universal prefabs myself for buying decorations, but after spending all of my Dark Projects on the encryptions, I'm sort of a bit cleaned out, a bit tapped out at the moment. So, but now we've figured out a quick way to do it. It's either just to buy the encryptions. Put it this way, for everyone that's listening, if once in a while you just jump on the GTN, and if you see any encryptions on the GTN for less than 150k, that's a bargain. If you've got this coin on you, please buy them, because that is a dead set bargain, getting them for less than 150k a pop. Don't worry about buying the frameworks themselves, because there's no way anyone, I can really see anyone having over 5 million credits on themselves at the time. But yeah, getting the frameworks, quickest way to get them is to raid the enemy planets, raid the enemy bases. But yeah, I've already got 13 logistical encryptions on me, so I just need to put together another 37, and we've got one framework ready to go. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
I have a question. Yesterday you were saying that we're looking for flagship plans. Is that the same thing?
Yeah. I'll actually have to switch tunes, because they're in my storage. I'll just run back up to my legacy storage, because I've got to link them so people know what they're looking for.
Okay.
And I'll take a look at that and put an imagery up of it from the GTN onto the video I'm making here.
Since we're kind of on the topic of conquest, I guess, since Arn's done with that stuff, I'll talk a little bit about the conquest thing.
Go for it.
So each week they pick several planets and areas for conquest. Like last week was CZ-198, Makeb, and Voss. And then there's a leaderboard for guilds that acquire the most conquest points. To enter a planet's leaderboard, you fly your ship to that planet, and then you start doing conquest objectives. What that entails is there's usually, if you check your mission log, there's a conquest tab. You click that on the left. Right now, it says next event starts in 11 hours, 43 minutes, and some seconds. But that'll have a bunch of little mission objectives on it that give you conquest points for achieving. Like, they'll have some crafting, like crafting war supplies will give you 250 conquest points a pop. Crafting the Dark Projects MK1s will give you 500 a pop. Doing war zones will give you conquest points. Depending on the planets and the type of conquest, there's a little tiny conquest story thing that goes with it each week. Doesn't really influence the conquest, but it's just kind of like how they tie the planets together that they've chosen. Depending on what that is, you'll have some world bosses that give you conquest points, or some of the older flashpoints, some of the operations. Galactic star battles, if you do those, can give you conquest points. So just doing stuff like that. Most of them are repeatable. So like doing war zones, every war zone you do is going to give you, I think, 250 to 500 conquest points, and if you win, it's double that. There's also a kind of like a mission. So like last week, if you managed to get 25,000 conquest points, you would get some rewards, some credits, some scrap, a credit chip worth 25,000 credits, and then there's a decoration item box that you would get. And what that is it gives you scavenging node decorations for strongholds. And I would like to see if we can get some of those for the higher grade materials that we're using for high-end crafting, because we can set those up in the guild, and anybody, regardless of their crew skills, can scavenge from these nodes. So like if we get some grade 11, if they exist, if we get some grade 11 slicing node decorations, then we can set those up, and then new players or new characters or new players that join the guild, if they need some cash, they can come to the guild flagship, scavenge those nodes until they aren't allowed to anymore, because there's a resource exhaustion thing that's like a 50% chance or something. And then they can get some credit boxes out of them. And then they have decorations to just about every material, so if you need some crafting materials and don't feel like going to a planet, we can have some nodes set up here. And then also there you get bonuses for stuff, like your strongholds completion rating gives you a bonus towards your conquest points. So instead of getting like 100, you'll get 100 and some change based on how much of your stronghold you've completed. And for conquest points as well, we will, now that we have a flagship, we'll be able to invade planets and such, and that should give us another bonus to conquest points. And should we become eventually the #1 guild on the leaderboard for an area, then when somebody enters that area, it'll display at the top, this area controlled by, and it'll say Dexteram Treachery. So hopefully we can get that at least once within our playtime. Any questions?
To Drummond Costs. No?
Alright, thanks for that. Could you do me a favor with that, Mike? Because that's a lot of information. Could you make like a little brief note on the forum so that we'll have something to reference on that?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That's pretty much it for me. Is there anyone with any questions on any other subject or any input that you'd just like to put in general?
Well, I've just linked in chat, in guild chat, all the encryptions. So you've got logistical, engineering, and command encryptions. The ones I'm focusing on at the moment is primarily logistical, because that opens 2 floors. That does the crew deck and the hangar deck. And I put it to a vote yesterday when I was talking about opening up a new deck, and pretty much everyone that was on yesterday wanted to do the crew deck first, so I'm focusing on that. So those are the things you've got to keep an eye out for if you're floating on the GTN. You've got a couple spare credits, whatever. Logistical encryption's the main one. I picked them up yesterday for about 90k each, and that's a really good price for those. So other than buying them off the GTN for 90k a pop, the only other way we're going to get the actual frameworks, because you need 50 of those logistical encryptions to buy one framework. And the only way to get frameworks is either to do it that way or to raid enemy bases. So,
and then you need 4 frameworks to unlock 1 room.
That's correct. For the crew deck and the hangar deck, you need 4 encryptions, 4 frameworks. For the command deck, you need 5 frameworks, and for the engineering deck, you need 6 frameworks.
And I assume unlocking each of those gives us some advantage when we go do conquests or whatever with the flagship.
To that, I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. It's just that everyone was really sort of keen to unlock it and new decorations and
Oh, yeah.
blah, 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 so on and so forth. But yeah, I don't know whether it gives us any advantages or any bonuses. The only thing I do know for sure is when we move a ship to a planet and we want to do an invasion or whatever, is that we need to have the invasion forces thing, which I've actually got a whole stack of. It gives us a buff when we land on the planet, gives us a buff to HP and damage and all that stuff. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that was something I meant to touch on. When we do invade a planet and we have the invasion forces, we will get a buff, so we'll do more damage, we'll take less damage, we'll have more health. And then we can also, I don't know how to do it yet, but I know we'll be able to call in like orbital strikes and stuff like that.
That's pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Those orbital strikes, I figured out how to do them. I don't know if it's everyone or just the actual guild master. But there's,
no.
There's a vendor on the fleet. You trade in one of those dark projects.
Oh shit!
Unlimited power. If you're in command of the flagship and it's over the right planet, so on and so forth, you buy one of these things and you get the orbital strike ability.
Oh, okay. That'll probably open up something new in the commands then, in the command center.
Yeah, you'd have to go to the fleet and actually read it in detail because it has all the details underneath the actual item. But I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how it works. I just remember it called the orbital strike ability. But you need to have your own flagship and have the right rank and all that stuff because not everyone in the guild can use it.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to go to the fleet and check it out.
Oh, I'll be right back. Please don't wrap this up. I need to talk about something too.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify for the room or the floor expansion, the 4 logistical frameworks and 5 and 6 or whatever, that'll unlock that entire floor, and then each individual room will just be more credits for those rooms. But we only need the frameworks that one time for each floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we've got enough credits in the guild bank right now to unlock one complete new floor. It's just a matter of getting the plans for it. And yeah, the best guess I've put together to unlock each floor, we're looking, if we start doing raid operations on planets, I'd say best guess it's going to take us about 5, maybe 6 weeks to unlock each floor.
All right, so that's the goal we're around shooting for now. You know, we're going to unlock the floors. We know the match we got to get on. So those of you that can create them, or those of you that, like he said, you see it on the GTN and you have enough to purchase them and would like to help contribute, you know, go for it. You know, the more the merrier, the better, the faster, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that pretty much that's what we're where we're at as far as this meeting goes. And just keep an eye on the website for an upcoming family meeting because we're gonna chat with the other group on this matter about what we're gonna do with the age requirement. Think it over, see how you feel about it. You know, if it's a big deal or whatever, then you might want to attend, put your input in because I hate to make one-way unilateral decisions about it. For those that know me, I like to have everybody's input put into it, you know, before moving forward. So I think JC said he had something to. Yeah, what was that?
Just one thing that I was been thinking about the last couple of days. Just wanted to see if I could put this up, see if people like it as an idea. I've come up with an idea to sort of, I don't know, help raise money for the guild type of thing. Not so much a fucking charity, but as everyone knows, I'm a bit of a cartel pack slut. I've got a heap. Don't laugh at me.
To say the least.
I've got heaps of stuff in my vaults that are just taking up massive amounts of space, and the idea I've sort of been playing with and thinking about, idea I've come up with, I think it's a good idea, is having I'm going to run a guild lotto type of thing. This is how it's going to work in my mind. You can all chime in and let me know what you think at the end, but 25k a pop, chuck 25k in the guild bank. You can enter as many times as you want, And then at the end of the week, it'll be once a week type of thing. At the end of the week, I'll sort out who's got what entries and whatever, and then I'll do like a roll thing, like those / roll, and assign everyone a number, and whoever wins gets one of the rare mounts or armor sets that's in my vault. I've got heaps of shit. I'll just give whoever wins a mount or a armor set, and that just sort of helps keep the guild money flowing, so to speak.
Of course I can handle that.
You know what? Let me speak on that for a second, because when I was in Final Fantasy, we did something similar to purchase our guild house over there. What I did was a 50-50 along with another member, where we gave people lottery tickets that wanted to participate. And at the end of the week, we'd call their name. We kept a list of the people that joined, because what we did, we did it server-wide. And so we had everybody that wanted to, that was on the server, participate, not just limited to the guild. And we gave them, 50% of the earnings. But I like your idea. Since you say you have all of these things you want to give away, sure, that would work. But why limit us to just our guild? You could promote that. So if you have a problem promoting it, I'll promote it, because I don't mind chatting with people and dealing with their BS. We could promote that and give it away to whoever wants to participate throughout the server. That'll get more people involved and get us more donations as well. I think it's a great idea.
What do you mean throughout the server? I'm sort of confused now.
Like, you're saying that you want to offer this to guild members, people that are here right now. So it's like 10, 15 people that would be participating. If you promoted it in server chat, in general chat or whatever, that you're doing a giveaway thing or whatever, where you got these vehicles or whatever the prizes that you want to give away.
Oh yeah,
there are people out there that want them. Yeah, there are people out there that want the particular things you may have. Everybody may not want everything, but some things that you say you got, that's just the thing they're looking for. And if it means that they can take a chance on getting it for 10K as opposed to paying 10 million for it, well, then they may want to put it. Meanwhile, we'll get 50 people hopefully that put in 10K and better, or whatever you say, 20K or better. In a weekend, that'll you do the math on it. That'll bring us in a huge amount of credits to get us closer to our goal.
Yeah, well, just off the math that I worked out, if we get everyone that's pretty much right here now at 25K a pop, there's 200 grand or 200K a week, and that every little bit helps. And for 25K, it's 25K ain't much to ask, and you're taking a chance on getting something that, like you said, could be worth 6, 7, 8 million.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do it this way then. We'll start maybe the first week. We'll take it for a spin with the guild and see how it does. And if the spirit moves me, maybe I'll start promoting it on the general. Like I said, if you don't want to, it's not a problem. I don't mind doing stuff like that, because I don't mind running my mouth with people on the server anyway. I don't let them get under my skin, so I can do it.
All right, that's cool.
Real quick before JC does whatever he wants to talk about, could we discuss moving the flagship? What reasons will we be doing that for?
Okay. As far as we know right now, the only time we'll be moving the flagship is when we start doing these takeovers, these conquests. And the conquests, as far as I know, are in order for us to gain more of those materials, whatever that we need. Is that right? Because then we're going to be
plans.
Right. Okay. So we'll be moving the ship to do that, and the people who can move the ship, it's limited to. You have to have a gold key to move it, and so it's restricted to just officers right now, and officers who've been busy and very proactive or whatever. That's subject to change, as I always say. People that are officers, you can be an officer today, and I don't see you for a week. You may not be an officer next week or whatever. And it's not because I'm pissed at anybody. It's because that kind of access is expensive. It costs us 20,000 credits to move the ship, 50,000 credits to orbit the ship. So that means if we move it somewhere and back, that's 40,000 credits. So I don't want everybody just say, hey, I feel like taking the ship for a spin today and then moving it. And then, by the way, that money comes out of the guild vault. So I don't want everybody having that access so that they can spend the money to take the ship for a spin, impress their girl or whatever. Hey, I got this flagship. Let's go for a spin.
But Manso, we'll fly it backwards on the way back, so the speedometer goes backwards.
Whatever.
Want to drive a car on Mars?
Yeah, right. So anyway, it's limited to the people that have it. Those who have the access that we're going to be granted access. They have the access now. Everybody else has a bronze key, which gives you general access. It allows you on the ship from wherever you are and to traverse to whatever doors are open at the time. You can't get through it. Trust me, nobody else can get through it either. It's not like you're locked out of anything. So yeah, the only thing that nobody has access. Well, only some of us have access to now is moving the ship. Is there something else you wanted to add to that, Mike?
No, I just wanted to see what the deal with that was. To make it official, so we have it in recording, whatever. And
pretty much, I put in enough. I gave people enough funds to be able to take out within a week that allows them to move it to and fro. If it has to be moved more than that, then you'd have to go to the next officer to move it. So it allows you to take it to a planet and to move it back to Fleet or whatever, or to another planet. And that's the only thing, because I don't want one person like flying the ship around 20 times a week or whatever, and you're like, hey, what happened to the guild funds? Fine, we're depleted. And that's that. JC, did you any questions on that situation or anything else anyone like to add to that before I move on? We're not going to Mars to watch the sunrise or whatever. All right, JC, you got something you want to say?
Just double checking real fast. I think we have a new member on Mumble, so does that warrant promotion for anybody here?
We do have a new member. Who is that? Would that be Alice?
I think I heard her checking in earlier.
Alice isn't new. Alice has been with us before.
Well, then I'm just the noob that didn't realize it.
I think Alice has been with. Am I right, Alice, or am I wrong? Is that someone else?
Yeah, she come in with me.
You're right. That's okay. I remember that. Yeah, Tinsel's fine.
That's right. That's right. Tinsel's, yeah. And Tinsel is a Bastium right now, right?
You don't need to know Tinsel is your secret agent.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he carries out 6 special orders for the Emperor.
See the one that sends out the memos? Everybody meet at the Outlaw's Den.
Exactly. But anyway, if that's it, I guess we can wrap this up. I thank you all for showing up, and anybody else that's not here, they can hear this on. It'll be attached to our website by tomorrow. One of us will have it up there. Thank you. Make it out of here.
So what are we doing now?
I don't know. Any ideas?
Run something?
And,
all right,
and since he said it like that, I say we move the ship somewhere and take over a planet.
I would love to do that. You guys up for that?
Yeah.
Let's go kick some ass here.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest, depending on how many people we had, get a group and go try and get a framework. See how that goes. See if we got enough people right now and the right types of people.
Let's do it.
And then, if that's not working out, we can also run EV real quick for some ultimate comms.
All right, somebody start an ops group. Invite everybody in before they try to escape.